when I show you this method with the matrices, it's going to seem kind of pointless because you're going to think, why can't I just use LinSolve? Well, the reason is not all calculators have the LinSolve capability. When I was in high school, none of the calculators had NSolve or LinSolve. We just had regular graphing calculators.
That's sad.
Yeah. So when our teacher showed us the matrices unit, it was super cool because we didn't have to use elimination or substitution anymore. Probably less cool for y'all. So, but it is still kind of cool. If you have a calculator that doesn't have LinSolve or NSolve, it will have matrices. So you can always solve systems using matrices. So it's just another way to solve using the calculator.
Is it actually called matrices, or is that just how you say it?
Matrices is like a plural verb word. Yeah. Matrix is singular. Matrices is plural.
What? I get it now.
Like goosing.
There's no such thing as matrices. Matrices.
Matrix side.
All right.
Oh wait, hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
For writing the system as a matrix, we're going to draw these little brackets. You might have seen them in like the Big Bang Theory or something. I don't know. Like they're on Sheldon's whiteboards and stuff. Sometimes. Anyways, I guess none of y'all look at the actual scientific work that they do. So you draw two brackets. Now each column is going to be a specific variable. I have my X column, I have my Y column, I have my Z column, and I have my answer column. Right, so each column is a specific variable. You don't have to write them unless you want to, but I like to label them. It helps me when I write my matrix. All right, so each column is a specific variable. Now when you're looking at your system, because I have a specific answer column, your system needs to be equals a number, equals a number, equals a number. All right, you can't have variables over here to the right. So your variables all need to be over here to the left, and then your numbers need to be over here to the right, which is normally how it's set up. All right, so we're good right here. And when you turn a system into a matrix, all you're doing is you're taking the coefficients, right? No letters in your matrix, just numbers.
So X would be 1.
Right, so the coefficient with X is 1. Now I'm going to go across. So what's the coefficient with Y?
2.
And then with Z?
2.
And then the answer?
0.
Okay. Now do your next row. What's the coefficient with X?
3.
What's the coefficient with Y?
-1.
-1. And then do you have a Z?
No.
So what
0.
Yep. So if you don't have a variable, fill the spot in with the 0. And then your answer is?
5.
Okay. And then the last row?
4.
4.
6. Yes.
Good.
Yes, queen.
And then that is the matrix. Okay? So on your quizzes and your tests, if I ask you to turn the system into a matrix, that's what I'm talking about.
So would that be the answer?
No, that's not the answer quite yet. All right. To get the answer, it's step 2. We are going to have our calculator perform Gaussian elimination for you. All right, don't worry about what that is. We need to use the reduced row echelon form. It is abbreviated RREF. So I put the steps over here for you. You're going to go to menu. You're going to go down here to matrix. And you want to go to reduced row echelon form. It has to be the reduced one. Reduced row echelon form. And then go to menu again. Go down to matrix.
So create.
And we want to put our matrix in. So we're going to create one.
Oh, I'm there.
When you create your matrix, you have to specify how many rows and how many columns. So in my matrix here, how many rows do I have? 3 rows
And 4 columns.
and 4 columns.
Oh my god, that's
So rows are right here, 3 rows, and then 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow, I did it. Now I just put in the numbers?
Yep. Once you get to this step right here, all you have to do is put in the numbers. Tab will let you jump from box to box, or you can use the arrows. Put 1, 2, 2, 0, 3,
Okay, got it.
1, 0,
Whoa, it simplified it. What?
5,
Now I do like
4.
answers.
Uh-huh.
What?
Now I got some more.
All right, and so when you press enter, you should get something that looks like this, which is also
Math.
on your paper. What?
So what's this? The solution?
I'm gonna explain. Yeah, it's weird math.
I thought that why would you have a calculator?
All right, so did everybody get to this point right here?
No.
That table back there, y'all good? Faith, you good? You got it? Leslie, yes?
How did you get a screenshot of that?
Okay, now how you read this, because if you put this as your answer, I'm not going to give you any credit.
Oh man.
I'm
Okay?
gonna add them up or something.
No. All right, what this means, the answer column
It's binary code.
is your answer. All right, so the answer column here is your answer. So when for step 3, state the solution in an ordered triple, 2, 1, -2.
What?
That is the answer. Remember, we're finding the point of intersection.
Oh.
All right, now let me explain why it is like that. Yes, you have to be in that order because do you see how there is a 1 right here? That means there's one x because this is my x column. So x equals 2. Do you see how there's a 1 in the second column? That's your y column. Y equals 1. And then this is your z column. Z equals -2.
So it's even clear.
That makes sense? Faith, you paying attention over here? Isabel?
I'm
Yep.
like
The
intellect
answer
all of a
is 2,
sudden.
1, -2.
Okay.
Wait,
So,
me
so
too. Okay, so X would be what? Like,
X equals 2. Because you see how there's a 1 in the x column? So x equals 2.
it's basically what we did. Like, it simplified each one. It did the work for you.
So this right here is your answer.
so this is how we get X, Y, and Z if we're just doing it like elimination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it tells you X, Y, and Z in the last
I'm
column.
ready to do the first crack.
Yep.
Yes, let's go, Terry.
Okay.
Yes, if you feel like you got it, do number 1.
Come on, Terry, let's do this.
It'd be because this is the x column, so x is 2.
Bye.
So essentially what it did was it eliminated everything, which is why you have all these zeros. And so you're just left with x is 2, y is 1, z is -2. Make sense? So it does all the elimination all in one step. All right, so do number 1. We're not going to do number 2, so you can just cross number 2 out. We're not going to do number 2.
Okay, got you. Oh no, I messed up.
Watch your negative signs on number 1.
I have a question. So like, I did the menu 7, 5, and menu 7.
That's what I got. This is too much, man.
So
And then you want to create a matrix.
matrix, yeah. So the rows would be this way, or
Yeah, so for the 3 rows, you're always going to have 3 rows, 4 columns.
oh. Whoops, I should probably highlight that. Thank you. For system.
Gosh, I got this. I got 3, 3, 3.
Hush.
Oh gee, Terry, stop it. You just ruined a good book.
This is not good.
Can you please take a joke, Terry? 2.
If I don't have one, then nobody cares in the first place.
Wow, so harsh.
That's what you got.
And
Oh my
this
god, how
is
do you
3DS.
redo something you just did?
So it'll be
Arrow up.
Wait, what?
Arrow up, and then highlight what do you want to read. Do you want to make this?
Life and everything more stupid.
I remember turning out like, I don't
Oh, okay, thanks.
All right.
So what happened?
Look up here. Look up here. Hopefully you got this as your matrix, and then when you typed it in, you should be getting 3, 3, 3. The biggest mistake that people are making on this one is this -2. All right, so don't lose your negative sign. If it's negative in your problem, it's going to be negative in your matrix. All All right, flip it over on the back. You are going to have a word problem on your quiz tomorrow, and probably on your test.
Where's the test on Friday?
Test is on Friday.
Is that for the
About
next
everything next week.
Clothing store.
Everything this week, yep. Just these 4 things.
I'll let for next week.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm doing it because I got a 5 week.
It's 5 week, and you have finals, and Thanksgiving break, and EOC.
Oh, dude,
So
that's what's up with it. That's what's up
it's like a really short 6 weeks, so I need grades.
I know, so you gotta start.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I have all my grades for this 6 weeks, so everything this week's going on next. All right. You manage a clothing store and budget $6,000 to restock 200 shirts. You can buy t-shirts for $12, polo shirts for $24, and rugby shirts for $36. If you want to have twice as many rugby shirts as polo shirts, how many of each type of shirt should you buy?
2. Buy all of the polo shirts.
All right, so my variables. T is going to be t-shirts.
I mean, I guess.
P is going to be
Polo.
polo, and R is going to be rugby. All right. Same thing for writing these equations. What's one of my totals?
6,200.
All right, 6,000 is one of them. Is 6,000 money?
Yeah.
Yes. So I need to put how much each of these shirts are worth in this equation. So t-shirts are worth how much?
12.
12. So 12t plus how much are polos?
24.
24p plus how much are rugby shirts?
36.
36 are. All right, and then I heard 200 is another one of my totals. Does that have to do with money?
No.
So how would I write this equation?
C plus P plus R.
Very good. All right, last equation. I have twice as many rugby shirts as polo shirts. So I'm comparing the rugby and the polo.
R equals 2.
Polo times 2 because the rugby is already twice as many. All right, now I have my equations. I want to turn it into a matrix. Here's the problem.
What's the problem?
That one.
This guy right here. Why is this a problem?
Because it's not a number by itself.
Right.
It's variable on the
This is not a number, it's a variable. I want all my variables on the left side. So how do I get rid of 2p? I don't want to divide because divide would be breaking it in half. I don't want to get rid of the whole thing. Say it again. Subtract. Very good. I want to get rid of the whole thing, so I'm going to subtract 2p. And if I subtract 2p, it all goes away, and what am I left with?
0.
0.
Why? Wait, so negative 2, please?
I did it differently. I did 2p minus R equals 0.
That's fine.
R
Okay.
minus
All right. When you write your matrices, label your column. So I'm going to have a t-shirt column, a polo column, a rugby column, and an answer column. All right, so let me call in some people here. Christian, tell me what this first row looks like.
12,
Uh-huh.
24,
Uh-huh.
36,
Okay.
6,000.
All right, Leslie, tell me this next one.
It is 1, 1, and 200.
1, 1, and 200. And then Lily, tell me the last one.
I know the equal is zeros.
Uh-huh, so the answer is 0.
And then is it
Do you have a T?
no, so it'd be 0 and the P would be negative 2?
Uh-huh.
And then 1.
Very good. Table back there.
It's
If,
untied.
if I'm not calling on you, you shouldn't be talking.
7, 5.
All right. Once you get your matrices, then you can do the reduced row echelon form and get the answer. But I'm going to move on to the next one just for the sake of time. All right, number 4. Eagle Stadium has 49,000 seats. Seats sell for $25 in Section A, $20 in Section B, $15 in Section C. The number of seats in Section A equals the total number of seats in Section B and C. Suppose the stadium takes in $1,052,000 from each sold-out event. How many seats does each section hold? So, what are my variables, Andrew? ABC, very good. ABC. All right. Gip, what's one of my totals?
Sorry.
It's okay. One of my totals here. I'm trying to write my equations. So what's one of my totals I have in this situation? 49,000. I have 49,000 seats. So I'm going to equal 49,000. So it's the total number of seats. So I'm going to take the seats from section A plus the seats from section B plus the seats from section C. All right, what's another one of my totals? Anybody?
1,052,000.
1,052,000. All right, so is that a money total? Sure is. So I need to have how much each of the seats cost. So how much do they cost in section A? 25A, 20B, 15C. Very good. All right, now I need one more equation. The number of seats in section A equals the total number of seats in section B and C. So how would I write that?
A equals B plus C.
Very good. A equals B plus C. All right, now my problem here.
We don't have a number on that.
Oh my god.
You don't have a number, you have variables. So how do you get rid of these variables?
Subtract A.
I'm going to subtract the B and the C.
Oh, never mind.
You can do it the other way if you want.
I'm such a rebel, guys.
And so now what number do I have over here once I got rid of my variables?
0.
0. What's up, Isabella?
Negative A plus
Oh.
B plus C.
All right, so now I'm going to write it as a matrix. I have my A column, my B column, my C column, and my answer column. All right. Anybody want to help me with the first row?
Oh, gee.
25.
Wait, first row.
1.
Oh, I'm doing that.
1, 1, 1.
49,000.
That's okay if you did it the other way.
Oh, gee, me too, don't worry.
All right, Jasmine, help me with this one, the second one. 25, 20, 15. Very good. 1,052,000. And Faith.
Yes, ma'am.
Last one.
The last one is, it's 1,
Uh-huh.
negative 1, negative 1. And then 0.
Very good. And then you type that in the calculator, do the reduced row echelon form, and get your answer.